Mr. Sliwa, thank you for joining Picks on Politics. Let's first talk about your campaign moving forward now that you are the GOP nominee. You already have out on social media an ad attacking Eric Adams, who's currently the front runner, but has not won the Democratic nomination. Are you believing that it's going to go Eric Adams' way?
I mean, it looks that way. Obviously, if you play bingo, which is what ranked choice voting is, you might end up losing. But I just want to invite Eric, hey, there's no subway station in Fort Lee, pal. Come on down with me. Welcome to my world. Ride the subway every day.
So let's talk about ranked choice voting right now. How do you think that's actually going to play out moving forward when you look at the Democratic candidates right now? Maya Wiley, Catherine Garcia fighting for number 2. Garcia hoping that those number 2s and 3s from Yang will help boost her.
Well, you know, it's interesting. I am a proponent of ranked choice voting, although it didn't apply to my election. I actually supported that initiative in referendum, like I do all initiative in referendums. People should make the choice, not politicians. But I think it's up for grabs. Garcia probably has the best opportunity to make up lost ground because people, they may not like Adams, they may not like Wiley, but I haven't really come across anybody that really dislikes Garcia.
When you move forward and you look at the city 7-1 Democratic, how do you plan on winning?
Well, number one, I have the Republican line. I earned that the hard way. But secondarily, I have an independent line. And remember, Michael Bloomberg spent millions of dollars to get the Independence Party line. I secured it by just going out there with volunteers to get the signatures. So that will permit the independents, which I used to be, the moderate Democrats, the establishment Democrats to cross over and vote for me. And I have to give them reasons. First off, I'm a compassionate Republican populist. I already care for the emotionally disturbed persons and homeless people in the streets. I know that they are lost souls, and I'm not going to be hard on them. I'm going to be hard on criminals. And then I'm the first candidate ever to advocate for no-kill shelters. We're not killing any dogs and cats any longer in our shelter system, as we do each and every year.
So what is the state of a Republican Party in a city like New York City? The Republican nominee, Joe Lhota, in 2013, he crossed over. He's now over at Catherine Garcia's camp, saying that the Republican Party is a joke in New York City.
Well, Joe Lhota crashed and burned in his candidacy. He's the reason that Bill de Blasio became the mayor of the city of New York. He ran a lousy campaign. He was never in the streets. He was never aggressive. He was a wonk. You don't win in the city of New York being a wonk. Joe Lhota, you're a good wonk. Hey, I see you really helped Kathleen Garcia there, pal, right?
So, Mr. Sliwa, let me talk to you about some of the issues then, right? Because our polling has showed that crime is the #1 issue. You've really run on restorative justice in New York. Say it is Eric Adams who's the Democratic nominee. How do you plan to fight crime better than what he is proposing?
Well, first off, he now pretends that he loves cops, right? He wasn't loving cops the last summer there. I never heard him once say, hey, we got to protect the police. They're under attack. Instead, he was running around painting Black Lives Matter in the streets with the man who single-handedly destroyed our city, Bill de Blasio. I was fighting looters and shooters and protecting the police out in the streets. But Eric Adams stripped the cops of qualified immunity with the Democrats. Right across the board they did, which means cops have to go out and get a personal malpractice insurance policy, like doctors and lawyers. How unfair is that? No other civil servants, no elected officials, not DAs, not judges.
So you're for qualified immunity?
Absolutely. Look, Andrew Cuomo has qualified immunity and he's killed thousands of people.
How do you discipline officers then? That's a big part of what we saw play out over the past year. You know, during the defund the movement, people were looking for transparency. I know you want to refund the NYPD, but how do you hold officers accountable?
Well, first off, how's that defund the police program working out, huh? How's that no bail program working out? People are being slaughtered in the streets. The way you discipline cops is you already have DAs. You have the feds. You have Civilian Complaint Review Board. Hey, Wiley didn't do a very good job when you were the head of the Civilian Complaint Review Board.
How do you discipline?
How do you discipline them? By using all those agencies and making sure you take down the blue wall of silence. I know better than anyone. You know, Eric Adams talks about he got arrested as a kid. Been arrested 76 times. I was given wooden shampoos, concrete facials, when the cops hated me, when they thought I was the leader of the Hells Angels. So I know what it's like to be locked up unfairly, but I also know what it's like when the cops get picked on unfairly. Without cops, we have anarchy.
This is just the beginning. We are simply at a time, but we're going to be talking to you. It's going to be a very long campaign season through November. I want to talk to you about housing, mental health, homeless. We'll get to all of that in the future, but thank you for being on the program.
I just
this morning.
welcome the Democratic survivor. Come into my world, ride the subway, or are you afraid to?
Mr. Sliwa, thank you very much for your time.
Thank you. Appreciate it.